Good morning, loves. Good morning. March 16th, 2026, right at 9:43 a.m. exactly, south of Texas. And today was 34 years ago that I let my little son Jacob fly away to the heavenly, courtesy of Anthony Fauci and AIDS, HIV. That was unnecessary genocide to humanity. And he died 2 days before his third birthday. And today's a new moon. Interesting. And, the proof is in the pudding. Sadly, I have to say it like I experienced it. I'll try not to be too long-winded. But back in the 80s, at 1988 when I got it, only homosexuals and prostitutes and IV drug users got it, right? Well, they didn't think about the collateral damage, men who would bring the dis-ease home to their women and then give it to their children innocently. Let alone the hemophiliacs like Ryan White who got it. Poor kid. And all over the world, Africa, Freddie Mercury, Rock Hudson, so many greats, kids, innocents got this dis-ease. Thanks, Anthony Fauci. And I'm 63. I've been living with AIDS and HIV since 1988. It'd be 40 years. Is that right? 40 years come 2028. 88, 98, 2008, 2018, 2028. 40 years since I got that. And I lost Jeff, Jacob's dad, and so many friends and loved ones. I am just blessed that I made it, I guess. Very unique. They call me an elite controller. Only 1% of us have survived this long. And I was sent, obviously, as a witness to get this dis-ease, live with it, and lose my family to it, and many, many friends unnecessarily. Here's what I know about AIDS and HIV and what happened, okay, by personal experience. In the beginning, like 1989 or so, people were thinking, yeah, they got it from doing monkeys in Africa, but we knew that something was fishy, that this was a created virus, not by getting it bucking monkeys, God help me. And like they tried to do monkeypox, with this whole scene. And so Anthony Fauci created it, and it started being released in the late 70s, early 80s, and men started getting cancers that just old men got in Italy. Spread like wildfire, and Anthony Fauci held the paperwork for 2 years while it spread through the bathhouses of San Francisco. Yeah, gain of function research, genotypes, all these experiments, and it got out, obviously, spread like wildfire, sadly. And my son Jacob suffered, but the cure was worse than the cause, really. The AZT and DDI killed more people than anything. Yeah. So many of my friends got it unnecessarily. That was the first genocide, obviously. And then here we are today, turned it into COVID country. Same virus, different day. Unfortunately for humanity. Biggest genocide, thank you, Anthony Fauci. But he was not alone. He was not a lone actor in this whole scene. There was a lot of money made, definitely, off all of the medicine and, keeping people going, for so many years. You know how much it cost just to keep me going? how much money the pharmaceutical companies made and the government made, and wow, on the unnecessary suffering of so many. And I forgive them because they really got to be sick, man. I forgive them. They just absolutely, the suffering. You see that they'll probably, those who created it will not experience it, because then, you know, when you're in the know, you know, right? But for those of us who are innocent, who got it, who were you to say and hand it our way? See, you know, and here we are today, March 16th, 2026, 34 years ago, since I had to take my little Jacob Jeffrey Reider Bowers off child support. Off life support. See, I can't even talk right. He died 2 days before his 3rd birthday. Just absolute. And the suffering, you don't want to know the suffering of my son. And so many. It's not just about me. This is a voice for everybody who is affected by AIDS, HIV, and COVID country. Especially because they tried to sell us the same dime bag and think that we wouldn't know that. And we didn't. How many people, you know, somebody was saying last night that, you know, the vaccine, that, you know, hey, we didn't stand up enough and say no to the vaccine. We didn't stand up enough to the government and say, no, we don't want this. But you want to know what? I saw what happened with COVID country that came out of AIDS and HIV. Okay? When I got the medicine back in the day, you had to take it or you were dead. That's how they sold it, right? This time around, it was mandated, which is tyranny. If you don't take the vax, you get your pink slip and pack your bags. Yes, first responders that have been on the job for 25 years retired because they didn't want the jab, right? But yet they let in immigrants with no mask, no vax, no tests. It's obvious. And I forgive them their ignorance. But I don't think they're ignorant at all, really. However, like in the book of Job, they don't guide the hand of God. They don't move the stars and the planets and the moon and, you know, direct the seasons. Like Anthony Fauci said, we're in the season. For those who remember, who is he to call the seasons? Really. You have to forgive him. He has no reasons. Right? Yeah. Their reasons for what? For human suffering unimaginable. COVID country destroyed this country and the whole middle class with it, while the restaurants and bars had to close. We all know this. They kept open the liquor stores, the Walmarts, and, you know, the Lowe's. How low can you go? Yeah. And here we are today, and they're doing their play, but they have nothing to say on the heavenly. I've known that. Because the heavenly God's got me all the way so I could live to witness this. So I could live to give this testimony. Not all of us got to, really. And it is the end of the cycle, and it is a whole new thing, and I trust the heavenly. No matter how they play. I'm in the game for love. And yeah, you have to forgive them. Whew, absolutely ignorant. So I do. Me living, surviving, and testifying shows what God's got us through. Love you. That's true. Totally.